So a warm welcome to the 35th International Film Festival here in Munich. And today it is international indeed because we have guests, and I'm honored to first welcome SIDIK from Kurdistan, the protagonist of the film SIDIK and the PANTHER. And also the director is here, and he is from the Netherlands. So we have a nice triangle from the Netherlands, Munich and Kurdistan. Welcome. There's something special about it because I know, and you might not know this, SIDIK, this information. Reber and we know each other for quite some time. And because I teach in the Netherlands, and in one of my seminars I had a student, and he was quite silent and very attentive. And it was Reber Dosky, whose path always crossed me. So we know each other for about something like almost 10 years, right? Something like that. So, and we talk in Dutch, and I will translate it also that you can understand it and our audience can understand it. So we start but first to you, SIDIK. Where are you now and what is your situation right now? Because everybody in Europe is under lockdown. Where are you right now and what's your situation?
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I am in Barzan. It's my hometown. It's a small town, 150 kilometers far away of Erbil, which is the capital of KRG, Kurdistan Regional Government. Iraq is a federal country, and I'm living in Barzan. And because of the corona, we have some, not that much problem like Germany, but we have to stay at our hometown. We can go out, we can go to nature, we can go to shops, but for going to the bigger cities, you need some permission.
Okay.
And this situation with corona gave me a very good chance to be in nature and for photography, for filming, and to monitor the nature around.
I got it. So we come to that in an instant, that your dedication to nature is a very special one. And we do have questions about this. So, and my first question is, Reber, in a way, the landscape, the magnificent mountains of this is also home to you, Reber, but you left the country. Could you take us back in that time when you left Kurdistan?
Uiteindelijk 96 heb ik Kurdistan verlaten. Vanwege oorlog en de situatie in Kurdistan en ook familie waar ik vandaan kom. Mijn nest, zeg maar, het is een politiek en een gezin. Mijn opa, in een film kom je ook achter hoe hij vermoord is.
A brief moment, I translate, otherwise I will lose track. It has been 24 years, so in 1996 that I left Kurdistan. And this was due to the situation which you described as a war, which this was. And also due to your family, which was always a political family. So you left the country to seek a better living.
Ja. Het is mijn verhaal vergeleken met het verhaal van familie van SIDIK is bijna eigenlijk, stelt niks voor. Maar in Kurdistan heeft iedereen die met politiek bezig was tegen het regime van Saddam of Iraanse regime of Turkse regime heeft minder kansen om te overleven. En dan heb je 1 of 2 keuzes. Mijn opa en mijn vader hadden 1 keuze gemaakt. Ze zijn naar de bergen gegaan om te vechten en ik heb gekozen om naar Westen te komen.
Okay, this Reber wants to join that. Nearly every family in Kurdistan, or all families in Kurdistan, have troubles, but the troubles his family had were nothing compared to the family of SIDIK, and which suffered a far worse story than that of Reber's family. And every family member takes his own choices, and the grandfather and the father both decided to go to the mountains and to fight, to resist. And Reber himself, he said, he went to the West and left the country.
Ik denk dat het ook een wereld is veranderd en een nieuwe generatie zoekt nieuwe mogelijkheden om te strijden voor eigen land. En dat is wat SIDIK doet in een natuur te beschermen. En ik met de camera is betekenen voor het vaderland. En zo'n combi hebben wij ook een bijzondere film, denk ik, in ieder geval kunnen realiseren.
Yes, he said, life goes on and different generations have different choices toward how to resist. And fighting is one option. And what SIDIK is doing, what you are doing, is you're trying to preserve the nature. And in a kind, Reber says, this is also a kind of resistance and makes somewhat Reber also on par with what he does, going there with the camera, making films. So meeting both of you made a very special project, a very special film, which I can confirm, which is a very special bond. And we go into that a moment later, because in the film one sees a man which is captured by you and the man. So this is one man looking at the other man, but at a certain moment both of you are at eye level very much, I think, and we go into that scene. But then how I remember it was your graduation film, actually. You were still at the Film Academy in Amsterdam, where we met, and that you returned to Kurdistan to film. And you have done very often so. How is it for you now to return? Or is it every time something different, a different story? Reber.
Nou ja, met deze film eigenlijk terug te gaan naar Kurdistan, voor mij op emotioneel niveau was heel heftig, want ik ben ook in een film eindeel van het verhaal.
Yeah, this time for me, returning back to Kurdistan was very emotional because my story is part of the film story. I am in the film, and this was emotionally very charging.
En aan de andere kant ook, ik ben op plekken geweest waar mijn familie heeft daar rondgehangen en gevlucht waren, zeg maar. In dezelfde eigenlijk plekken ben ik geweest. En op dat opzicht was het heel heftig soms voor mij.
So, and the film and the shooting of the film brought me to places where, at times, my family sheltered and they had to survive there. So, this was also for me a very challenging, emotionally challenging experience.
Maar uiteindelijk, als maker, denk je hebt een missie. En die missie is, je wil kijkers meenemen voor hun in een nieuwe plek op de aarde. En dat als je bewust bent van die missie.
But at the end of the day, if you are a filmmaker, you have a mission, and your mission is to take your audience to places and to convince them. And you have to be true to your mission.
Ja, en dan ga je die missie verwezenlijken en je wil iets betekenen voor het land, voor jouw medemens en voor jouw geschiedenis ook.
So,
als je op dat opzicht kijkt, geeft het jou een goed gevoel en dan ga je sterker eigenlijk terug naar het land in.
Okay, and because you have a mission, because you want to take the audience along with you, and you have to show them things which are important to you, you do have a mission, and it is a kind of resistance, Reber's own kind of resistance, and so this mission gives you a special feeling and gives you energy and gives you also a special purpose on returning to your country. So, SIDIK, I have a question for you, because when we are in the film, we first are in those mountains, and it is as if the camera discovers you up there in the mountains, but the story of Reber and you is much older. Could you take us to the place where you first met?
Yeah, it was, I think it was 2013. We had a festival in DOK city, which is around 120 kilometers far away from my town, my hometown. I saw some shows, some reclams, and I found there was a film called The Call. And I saw some birds, some nature in it, and I thought it might be about nature and about the birds. So I just went to the Hook to watch the film. And when I watched the film, it was another thing. It was another subject, not nature. But it was a good chance to meet with Reber. We had a meeting, and then he had some question about my activities, what I'm doing, what I was doing at the moment in the nature. And so step by step, then we became friends, and then he started to come to my hometown, to Barzan, and he started to follow me sometime when I was out for birding, for camera trapping around. He followed me, he came with me to mountain, and finally he became interested in to make a film about it. And yeah, it was very good. I was so excited that somebody liked my activities.
Yeah, this is a fine story, something which is also reflected in the film, that the gradual discovery what you're doing and how important it is what you're doing is. And Reber, maybe you could shed a light on when you take up the camera, what is it would you say, okay, this is going to be my next film? Is there a certain point, or how does a decision that come from?
Kijk, op zich, de film, het gaat over bergen. En je hebt, in de bergen heb je een gids nodig om alles te vertellen. En ik zag SIDIK, op een gegeven moment toen ik kennis gemaakte met hem, en ik zag volgens mij van een Duitse televisie een fragment over SIDIK op YouTube.
Oké.
En dus de hoorn van een geit is los, zeg maar in de bergen heeft hij gevonden, en hij kijkt zo en maakt een foto voor DNA of zo, weet ik niet precies. En op dat moment dacht ik, ja, wel bijzonder, en vooral was een droommoment ook. En ik zag zo'n landschap van boven, ik dacht, ja, dat moet het verteld worden.
Yeah. Well, and of course, I knew SIDIK, and if you're in the mountains, one thing is what you definitely need is a guide. And I always saw SIDIK as a guide to the mountains. And then by chance, it was YouTube that showed a little fragment, a little fraction of German television, in which appeared SIDIK. And he had a big horn of a goat, and he lifted it up, and with the lifting, you could discover the beautiful landscape, the magnificent mountains, and all of a sudden said, yeah, this is it. I have to go there and make my film.
En natuurlijk, toen we elkaar eerste keer ontmoet hadden, hij vertelde heel veel over zijn activiteiten. En ja, weet je, hij had mijn hart meteen eigenlijk gestolen. En ik dacht, ja, in Kurdistan, iemand die soort werk doet, iedereen is bezig met vechten, iedereen is bezig met overleven. En SIDIK is natuurlijk gegaan naar de basis. Ik dacht, ja, bijzonder. Deze man heeft een bijzonder verhaal. Dit moet sowieso verteld worden. Maar die tweede moment, met het droommoment, was het eigenlijk laatste druppel in een emmer. Toen dacht ik, oké, verkocht.
From the beginning, when we met at our first meeting, I always had the feeling that there's something special about SIDIK. And the more I get to know him, the more I found everyone in Kurdistan is either fighting or surviving or so. And there's this man who goes into nature and does his thing. And it was highly attractive to me to see someone doing something different and also so important in a way for our country. And then seeing him in this little fragment was just this little bit which gave me the last push to say, well, this story has to be told, and this is my next film. So there is, we get to know you quite well, one things at least, and nevertheless there are always scenes in SIDIK which are highly surprising, because we see this nearly mythical landscape, these mountains in it, and it attracts people like you who are seeking nature, tranquility, the beauty of it, but there are also those others, and to no surprise, they have a weapon. And this is one of the scenes which I saw and I said, I can't believe what I see. There's a man with a machine gun, and you approach him like you're not afraid at all. weren't you not afraid, or didn't you show it, or how do you approach a man with a machine gun under his arm?
Yeah, you know, it was at the moment. It just happened. You know, firstly, they having a gun in the nature, in the place we were, it's officially forbidden. And sometime, even before filming, when I saw somebody with the gun, it made me crazy, you know, because already this country has been chemical bombed, it has been destroyed, and now we've got a chance to rebuild it and to revive it, and then some bad guys are trying to destroy it again. So I was really angry to see that. And the second, I had three strong guys, Reber, Roy, and Tago, just behind me, some meters away. So I was sure that I would be the winner. And another thing is because of the camera trapping. The people in the area, they know me with the camera trapping. And every time the hunters, the bad guys like the guy, they are in doubt if I can see them with my camera traps or not. So it just happened, and I was kind of sure that I can stop him.
So this is one of the very impressive scenes. And also one other scene is which I would like to talk about is at a certain moment, Reber tells you the story of his grandfather, which is a very painful one, which we don't discover fully here because there might be people who haven't seen the film yet. And were you prepared? Did he tell you beforehand that he will tell you the story?
Not really. I mean, before, because we were friends, we were talking about our families. I knew something happened to his grandfather and that, but during filming, when we were at the place, I didn't know exactly what was in his mind, you know. And then when I found it out, yeah, it was really very, very sad moment, and yeah, I just felt very sorry, yeah, about that.
And then the scene unfolds and you, in a way, help him out. Was it just a spur of the moment decision? Was it just a spontaneous decision what you did?
No, I don't think so. I think he had it, he can answer that better than me, but I think he had in his mind several times he was talking about his grandfather, what happened to him, you know, such things. And then when we were traveling to the places, I was thinking about it a bit, but I didn't know exactly what was in his mind. Yeah, so when we were there, then we started to talk about him, and we made I was proud at the moment to make a sign for a great man like his grandfather. It was very sad, but also I was very proud at the moment, proud of doing that.
It's a very touching scene indeed, because it unfolds slowly and one doesn't know exactly where it's going, and when the scenes end, one does understand that. Our time is rather running out at the moment, so I would like to have the last question to you, SIDIK, because we get to know you in the film as a man who spends his entire time in the mountains and with the nature in search of this mythological panther. But your life is also quite different if one takes the effort to search for your name, and you're quite easy to find. You're busy on Facebook, you have an Instagram, and all those things are not in the film. How pleased were you when you saw the film? Was it something which is true to you? The finished film?
Yeah, indeed. The first time I saw it, I started to cry. Oh. My tears were down because it was very important for me. You know, it's a very tough job. It's very, very difficult, especially in Iraq. You know, we're living in Iraq, and we're living in a destroyed country. And such things, you know, the nature conservation is some new subjects, new things. So it's very, very difficult. The facilities is not enough. The time is not enough. No, I mean, somebody care, but mostly don't care. And when I saw that okay, there is a film internationally concerned, a documentary was there, on the screen. So yeah, it was great. It was a great feeling, and yeah, I was so happy to see that, to see my true personality indeed. So how the other saw me in the mountain. It was great. Yeah.
I couldn't find better words to end our brief meeting. Thank you very much for joining us. The best of luck to you and your work for the nature. May it be a successful one. We're with you. Reber, thank you for joining. We have the film out now, and we're very glad to have you here. And I once said it, we have an audience award, the PA Publikumspreis, and you may vote for this film. So clap out loud, the audience, for this film if you like it. And thank you to the Netherlands, and thank you to Kurdistan from Munich.
Ja, ook heel erg bedankt. Ik wil als laatste zeggen dat een bij heeft mij gebeten. Dus die wand, we hebben het niet over gehad, maar de dikte van een wand komt van een bijt van een bij.
Ja.
En ik hoop dat iedereen naar ons film gaat kijken en dat we uiteindelijk in de prijzen gaan vallen.
Yeah. So Reber wants to point out that he don't have a funny filter effect on his camera, but this is real, and this is swollen from a sting from a bee. So this is no coincidence, no filter. This is real stuff. But he told me before that it is better, and he regards just as a kiss from a bee. So to nature lovers, thank you so much for having us. Bye from Munich, and we see each other.
Bye, thank you.